nothing but the dog in me.
One must die, chase the cat.
Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. Today was the day that we talked about on last week's show, the Desmonds Army first annual Legacy event, and I spent the entire time there. I'll tell you, it was a really, really nice event. For a first event, things were pretty smooth. It was well orchestrated as far as, everybody's part in things. It was a really great time. There were a couple of bumps, but it happens, whether it's your first event or your 50th. So props to the machine, so to speak, because it worked very, very well. There were so many people there that I loved to see. I don't get out enough, and so I miss seeing a lot of the people that I do like to see, and very many of them were there today. Again, the Desmonds Army family, of course, but supporters and just the people that make your heart smile, and got to spend some time with some in particular. It was really heartwarming. The drawing for the portrait of Desmond, that was one of the most amazing moments, because everybody wanted it for a different reason, and some people, if they wanted to give it to Zilla because she's the president. It's for her to have it, its rightful place, etc., etc. The thought was kicked around, if she wanted, everybody would take a turn with it, at different times. There were a lot of thoughts and emotions behind that drawing. Somebody wanted to put it in, the Capitol. There were just so many good ideas. And the most amazing thing happened when the person, when Renee Danino pulled the raffle, Zilla's mom won. So where that portrait ends up, where it belongs, with Zilla. And it was there wasn't a dry eye in the house, and I will deny anything anybody saw because I don't emote, and it was overwhelming, and I'm so happy that it turned out the way it did. Zilla seemed to feel, and I can't say she's wrong, that Desmond's spirit's with us, and it's just really, really cool when something like that happens, and not only you can witness it, but you can be a part of it. Just incredible. So hopefully it was a successful event in the way that it was meant to be, other than just a fun, good time, and everybody getting together, and the raffles were incredible. Props to the cake gypsy, because she put out a spread of all of her wonderful diet cupcakes and cake pops and stuff like that. The caterer did an amazing job. I lost in my head the name, but the food was delicious. I have a thing, I'm Italian, so I have a thing for eggplant, and it was just divine. Just so many nice little things that all came together and made it a great time. So looking forward to the second annual Desmonds Legacy event, and we've got like a whole year to plan that. So it's going to be good. It's going to be fun to be part of it every year and see how it grows and see how it improves, and that's that. So we are actually into October already, which is kind of hard to imagine, because I can remember when it was earlier in the year and October seemed so far away, and now here we are. Fall is probably my favorite season, And of course, Halloween is my favorite holiday. Actually, it's like the only holiday. But it also is significant for a number of other reasons in the rescue world. And one of them is because it's Adopt a Shelter Dog Month, which realistically, my feeling is you should be adopting shelter dogs every month, in every month, every day of every month. And there would be so many less deaths because, the animals that are not in facilities that will hold them lose their lives when they've been there for varying periods of time, let's say, because, some shelters will kill a dog when the owner surrenders it. It's like, okay, well, you want us to take your dog? Well, we're just going to take it in the back and kill it. And people are like, yeah, okay, fine. And they walk away, which I don't understand. Some shelters will give a dog a certain amount of time and so on and so forth. And, if everybody adopted and not shopted, it would make a huge difference to the animals in the shelters because, they would stand the chance that they so richly deserve. It's also Pitbull Awareness Month. And, that's something, I get that. People are aware of pit bulls, but what is everybody's awareness? It differs. There are people who will still never, ever think kindly of a pit bull. There are people who use and abuse them. And there are people who know them and love them. So everybody's awareness, I think, is very different. And, the fact is, pit bulls are the most killed dogs in shelters in this country. Pit bulls followed by Chihuahuas, which, it speaks volumes. And realistically, I think that people want pit bulls because, they're cool and they're some kind of status symbol. But they don't understand what a pit bull needs to thrive and be happy and be a good dog. They're terriers, and terriers have their very own nature, very intelligent. They need a lot of exercise. They need to be busy. They like to chew. Some of them have a higher prey drive than others, but that's what they're bred for. It's in their genes. It's not because they're a bad dog, which is why you find some of these dogs that, can't be around small animals, can't be around cats, can't be around small dogs. It's their prey drive. It's not because they're a bad dog. It's what's bred into them, but it's mistakenly taken as something that it's not, that they're killers and, they're not safe and whatever. Even a child or an adult running becomes prey. It's something to chase. Why do dogs chase cats? Because they run. It's quite simple. And people just don't seem to be able to grasp that. And so, the labels are applied, and it's not a good thing. People will adopt a pit bull or buy or whatever a pit bull from their backyard breeder friends. And, puppies are all cute. Puppies are kind of all the same. They're fresh slate. You get past a certain stage where they're growing up and people haven't taught these puppies anything. And then they get bigger and their requirements for exercise become greater. And so, people aren't doing what they're supposed to do to keep the dog engaged. And so the dog gets a little crazy, gets a little wild, doesn't have an outlet because the people aren't living up to their part of the responsibility of having that kind of a dog. So a lot of times these dogs, will start chewing on things, ripping up furniture, pillows, whatever. So they get a little rambunctious and they're chasing the kids and the kids are afraid. And it turns into a situation where people are crating the dog more, which is not the answer. And so the more time this poor dog is cooped up in a crate, the crazier it is when it comes out of the crate. But no one's stopping to take the time to train the dog. So eventually you have a dog that somebody doesn't want anymore because, you know, it's crazy and it's bad and it's this and it's that. And it all reverts back to the people didn't take the time to teach it how to be a dog and to give it the outlet for its energy, the exercise, the chew toys, whatever, that would have made all the difference in the world. You know, terriers need to have a firm hand. And I don't mean that as abuse. I mean, you have to manage them and you have to help them know and teach them what it is that you want from them, just like any other dog. But terriers are just like a notch more stubborn, and you've got to be a step ahead of them. And so there you have this dog that now somebody doesn't want, and it ends up in a pound, and it's out of control, and it doesn't have any manners, and it jumps on everyone, and it jumps on everything, and it's still confined to a kennel, and it still can't get its energy out. And so who's going to adopt that dog? It takes a special kind of person to be able to see, okay, I've got to work with this dog, I got to do training with this dog. And again, that's not everybody. So what's going to happen to that dog is it's going to sit there, and it's going to sit there until the shelter kills it. So what's your awareness of pit bulls? They are just the most loving dogs, and that's not the situation for a pit bull. You have to have the commitment to make it the best dog it can be. You've got to work with it, and just like any other dog, it's going to have its moments, it's going to have its faults, it's going to have its shortcomings, but love and commitment see past those things. And, you know, sometimes you have to accept a dog, a child, a partner, the way they are. Not that that's to say you need to short sell yourself in a relationship. I'm not saying anything like that, but nobody is perfect. So no dog is going to be perfect, and you can't expect that dog to be perfect, just like you're going to work on a relationship with a partner. Just like you're going to teach your children, you've got to teach your dogs. Every dog you've got to teach. But a pit bull requires a little bit more attention because they are a terrier. And, you know, unless you have the commitment, and unless you've got a little bit of savvy, and unless you realize what you're getting yourself into, then you shouldn't have one. And if people would stop breeding them willy-nilly and making them so available, and if people would stop making them such a status symbol, things would be different for the pit bull. So, you know, every pit bull that I've ever known has been goofy, loving, just a total character. So what's your awareness of pit bulls? It's a sad thing what people do to animals, and pit bulls are no different. So there goes my my 2 cents on pit bull awareness. So we actually do have some adoptable animals that I'm going to show you this evening, and one of them is Cerf, who is a pit bull. Look at his face. He is so handsome. He's got just a baby face that you just want to smush. Look at those ginormous paws. I can't even stand it. He is a sweet boy in a very bad situation, unfortunately. He is blind, and he is sitting in a shelter. I can't even imagine how that would be for any dog to be blind and in a shelter, and it's really sad because I've seen quite a few. He's very scared there, and how can he not be? He craves the comfort of human company, and because he's scared, and probably because he's blind, and he just, on his defensive, and it's got to be hard. He needs to be an only dog. So that makes the home for him more of a needle in a haystack, but it's definitely out there. There are people who have had blind dogs before. There are people who know how to transition a dog into a new situation. He just needs the right chance with the right person, and really it's got to be out there for him. He does need a foster, excuse me, or an adopter ASAP, because really I can't imagine the hell that he's living, in his condition. And he is at the Mount Vernon, New York Animal Shelter. And if you are interested in giving Cerf a foster or a permanent home, or if you have a rescue that could work with him, there are blind dog rescues. They're out there. You can call 914-665-2444. That's 914-665-2444. And really, I just can't imagine. He is so handsome and he looks so sweet. And they say he loves to follow people around, and he loves attention. And I'm sure it's so very comforting to him to just be able to be near somebody and know that he's not totally alone in such a strange place. Alrighty, next up is Chloe. And Chloe is a spunky, adorable senior at about 13 years old. She's waiting for a quieter home to be pampered in. Chloe is used to other dogs and cats and would be best in a home with older, respectful children, if any. She is at West Hartford Animal Control, and the number there is 860-570-8818. Once again, that's 860-570-8818. She's got the most beautiful markings. If you look, it's almost like she got little paw prints or footprints on her side. Just the sweetest face. I think she's probably, the little dogs can stay spunky for a long time. And, whoever would take her home, look at that sweet face. I can't even stand it. Whoever would take her home and earn her trust and her love would be a fortunate individual indeed. Next up is Chacha. And Chacha was abandoned in her backyard by her owners, who moved and left her behind. And you wonder why I can't stand people. Anyway, she's about 8 years old. She seems okay with other dogs and is fine with cats. And Chacha is at the New London Animal Control, and the number there is 860-447-5231. Once again, that's 860-447-5231. Next up, we have Maddie. Look at how beautiful this cat is. I just can't even stand it with her little tiny splash of white there. Maddie is an absolutely stunning 11-year-old lady who is described as quiet and kind and a wonderful companion. She's clearly a shelter favorite, and she could be yours too. She is at the Guilford Animal Shelter, and the number there is 203-453-8083. 203-453-8083. Now, we do have another kitty, and I'm only going to put him up there. Go on to the next one, Zach. I'm only going to put him up there just because we're working on a plan for him, but he really needs a place to go. We've got sponsors to get him vetted. We're trying to work with some rescues to take him in. He was handed kind of a really crummy deal when he was dumped on somebody's family member and not getting along with the animals in the house. And so he's been forced to live outside, and all he wants to do is get love and, attention, and he purrs and he loves people. It's an animal thing. So he needs a spot to land who can either keep him separate or someone who knows how to integrate an animal into a situation and has the time and the patience to work with that. So if anybody has any suggestions, you can email me at pawprints, PAWPRINTS 713 at AOL.com. Once again, pawprints, PAWPRINTS 713 at AOL.com. Next up, we have Kane. And Kane is one of the absolutely most unique looking dogs I've seen in a while. He's believed to be a Boston Terrier, wire-haired terrier mix. He's about 1.5 years old, and he's full grown at about 40 pounds. Kane is good with other dogs, he's fine with cats, and he loves kids. He has a great personality and would be perfect in an active home where he'll get plenty of exercise. If you're interested, contact Pack Leaders Rescue at www.packleadersrescue.com. Once again, www.packleadersrescue.com. All right, so a really sad situation unfolding in Long Island, and that is with the Pets for Luv Foundation. Now, they're a rescue in Westbury, New York, and they're known for taking in the neediest of special needs cats and dogs. Some come into the rescue as lifers due to their conditions and needs. They're a good bunch. Sadly, some people are not so good, like their landlord. And unfortunately, their landlord has, their new landlord, after promising them for 1.5 years that, they're going to be able to stay at the property where the shelter is located, they were told in September that they have to be out by January. Now, that's devastating. I mean, just how is that supposed to happen? How could you do that? How could you even expect that to happen on so many levels? There's animals involved. They need to find another place to go. They need homes. Pets for Luv is looking for another place to lease, preferably to buy, so that they don't ever have to worry about eviction again. But, they've got so much on their plate right now. They have to renovate if they find a place. They need help to do that. They need help with the animals. The scramble is really on. So if you're somebody out in the Long Island area who can give them some sort of insight as to where they could possibly relocate to, if you're someone who can go and volunteer to help with whatever they need, that would be much appreciated. This is just an unbelievable situation, and it has them all shook up for sure. And you can call petsforluv.org, or you can reach out to them on their website, petsforluv.org, or you can call 516-832-8200. That's 516-832-8200, and you can check them out on Facebook. It's Pets for Luv Foundation. And really, something needs to be done. They really need the help, some direction of where they can possibly relocate to, and like all hands on deck to try to help make it happen. Because, once they find a place, that's all fine and well, but they really seriously need help to get the place ready for the animals. And so if you're looking for an animal, please go check them out to adopt one, because the less animals they can have in their facility, the more they can safely and happily place. It takes a little bit more stress off of them. So anyway, I will take the camera back for a hot second. And I talk about Sweetpea all the time. There's been like the highs and the lows, and a few weeks ago the pieces for the building came, and that was really exciting. Zach hit it. Look at this. It's going up, folks. It's really, really happening. It's breathtaking to see that it's taking shape. You know, it's so far from done, but to see it go from, you know, a burnt out shell to just a hole in the ground, basically, to the cement being poured and, you know, the foundation there, and know that something's happening, to see the walls actually start to go up, it's breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking. So hopefully progress will be swift from here out, and Sweetpea will be back in business before long. And I will certainly keep you up to date, because this is just too much. It's so exciting. I can't stand it. So anyway, there you have it, and I will take the camera back. And how long would you say we have, Zach? Less than 2. Okay. So in review, it's Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. So go out and adopt a shelter dog. That's something that should be a no-brainer. And it's Pitbull Awareness Month. And you need to be aware that they're much better dogs than some people make them out to be. They're just amazing, and they're all heart, and they're just not, they don't fall into the right hands all the time, and it's really sad. That being said, give a pit bull a chance, and I don't think you could ever be sorry. You do need to be dog savvy, I believe, to be able to effectively manage a pit bull. But you know, everybody can learn together, and it's not a bad thing. So there you have it. And where are we at now? Okay. I think we can handle this. So stay tuned to Pound Posse Presents for some exciting news from Juno's place, and I will talk about that more in the coming days. And here we are now, about to say peace, love, and dogs. Until next week, thank you very much.